got the swag, you got the style. You got the swag, you got the smile. You got the swag, you got the style. You got the swag, you got the smile.
Thank you, Merin, for having me in your show. It's really a nice moment. And hello, everybody. Like you all know, I am Jayasmita Dutta. I'm based out of Bangalore, and I'm a blogger. My blog is in Instagram. The handle is called sari_nari. So do check it out, where I share my journey of talking about my mental health experience, LGBT ally experience, my day-to-day life, saris, my work life, my travel. So a lot of everything is there in that. So I would really appreciate if you go see that. Apart from that, I also work. I'm a corporate employee. I am with a pharmaceutical giant, and I work in operations as a business excellence lead. My background is in microbiology. I have done masters in microbiome from Bangalore University, and also, I know I kind of bragging, but I did get a gold medal for my masters. So yeah, that's long story short. I stay with my family, like I said, in Bangalore. I have a small daughter. She's 6 years old. I stay with my husband and her, and a help who helps us take our life through. So I have a very good support network. My family supports me a lot, and I think that makes me who I am. And that helps me, because without taking your support along with you, you can't move ahead. And yeah, so keeping that network strong is very important, I guess, for any woman to move ahead in life. Over to you, Merin. Perfection is an impossible standard, and that is a simple fact of life. But in this result-driven world, we have seen more often than not that how coveted perfection has become, right? So what I believe in is not perfection, and therefore I believe in excellence. Excellence, because that proves my personal greatness. It proves how I want to see certain things, and how something, or the purpose that work has in itself. So rather than striving or pushing myself towards doing everything right, I rather try to excel in the small ways that I do things. For example, in my motherhood, there is no perfect way to bring up your child. Every child is different, every parent is different, and in that I do not coax myself. There are times where I tell myself that, oh my God, I could have done that, but I do not beat myself up on these things now. I have learned that whatever it is, we just have to facilitate a child to grow. We can't teach something to anyone. In fact, not just a child, for that matter. If you see, we facilitate. Most of the times we facilitate. The teachers also facilitates and teaches us things, rather than they do not hold a stick and tell us, do this, do this, do this. No, they don't do it. They say that this is our way of approaching things. Now approach it. So that's how I take my life, where I tell myself that I'm just here for a very small amount of time. If you look at the bigger picture, it's very minuscule. We are all very, very tiny. And in that, if you want to really make some good space for ourselves, positive space for ourselves and for people around us, we just have to do that. And that's all I strive to do. I try to spread positivity and happiness in my own circle of influence, in my family, amongst my friends, through my Instagram handle of Sari Nari, amongst my colleagues in office. So that's how it has been. And I don't believe in multitasking, because for me, multitasking is not very efficient. However, I do take up a lot of tasks, which I do, but I compartmentalize. I don't do two things at the same time. I finish one thing and then jump to the other. Okay, but there are multiple projects which are ongoing, and that's how life is, isn't it? But I don't work at one point in time. I'm not doing two things, because then my attention is diverted and I'm not able to give the best. So what I try is, if I have to post, say for my Instagram, every day, if I have to post something, I will think about the content and I will develop the content. Meanwhile, I also have my work deliverables. So I will think about, so I'll space my day out in such a way that at one point in time, say between 8 to 9 o'clock, I will make my post. From 9 to 5 o'clock, I'm going to concentrate my time at my work. And in between, I have the home chores now, since we are all at home. So that's how I divide my whole day in such a way that I'm able to celebrate the progress I have made in my time. So when I check out the things in my to-do list at the end of the day, that's the greatest satisfaction for me. And I think, yeah, that's how I'm trying to lead my life. Also, I do not beat myself up for things I cannot do. There are things in my to-do list which I'm not able to complete, and it is actually impossible to complete everything in 24 hours. We just have 24 hours. So I don't beat myself up, and I take it easily and take it very nicely and tell myself that good job that I have done today. We just have to move forward and take it to the next day. And that's how life has been. LGBT. It's a cause I stand for. L stands for lesbian, G is gay, B is bisexual, T is transgender, and it's a plus because there are many other classifications available. Now, why do I stand for this community? The reason is because I want to stand up for the society. I want to stand up for social equity, where everybody gets equal opportunity. It's not just about female getting equal opportunity in offices or at any other place, but it's also about everybody getting an equal opportunity in the society. And that's where, where my whole Pride Month awareness that I have raised, and also I'm doing it now, has come into being. Now, people will say that it's a very, we are creating a hullabaloo about it right now. The reason is because people have accepted it more openly right now. We have had the judgment. Section 377 has been ruled out. So it's a very, very beautiful thing that has happened. And it's an epic judgment Supreme Court has passed. Now, you would say that it's a very modern concept, but it is not. It is definitely not. It is more ancient than we can imagine. Homosexuality, or multiple sexual partners, or any transgender, or if people want to dress up, cross-dressing, what they say. So these are all concepts which has been there from a time immemorial. We can give the most brightest example here, which is Shiva and Parvati in Ardhanarishwar, where Shiva and Parvati, they unite, and that is both the sex in the same person, both the genders in the same person. And that's a very bright example, and it just shows that how in totality we are, the whole universe in one. So, and there are multiple examples where in mythology, which is available, or also in the ancient culture, where people have seen this. Our temple carvings has, multiple depictions of it. So we can't say that it's a very modern concept. It is not. It has always been there, just that it is people are coming out, and that is what it's called, that people has been closeted earlier because it was not accepted, and it was people were punished for unnecessary reasons. Section 377 was not very known to its right in the right way by others, and people were punished earlier. So that's the reason people were not coming out, and now people are getting that kind of an acceptance, and all we can do is just accept people. That's about it, right? The other person from the community is just like you and me. How different it is, just that they want to dress up in a way, or they want to express in a way. I have explained in one of my videos about Soji-esque, so which is the sexual orientation, their gender expression, gender identity. So those kind of things, which are so and everything is exclusive of one another. So a person can have from heart, the person can feel that he's attracted towards a male or a female, but want to dress up in a different way. So everything can happen. So just go and see that video. I think that will make it very, very clear. And therefore I say that we just have to include everybody and stay in inclusion, because then only a person can perform well and become excellent in whatever they do, because they know that they have acceptance. Breastfeeding. That's been a very, very personal, close to heart topic of mine. I fed my daughter till she was 3.5, and not exclusively, of course. I fed her exclusively till 6.5, 7 months, and then it was just there as a support, because I didn't want to wean her out until she was ready. And that's how my parenting has been. Everything has come whenever and left whenever the time was right. It was not forced. So why is breastfeeding important, and why we should talk about it more often? First of all, public feeding, right? People get into a bottle feed, which is plastic again. Think about the sustainability. So that move, because they think that they can't feed in public. When we go to a mall, have you seen now recently there are malls which has got a feeding room. In airport there is a feeding room, but these feeding rooms, have you seen how they are? They are close to the toilet, extremely unhygienic. Offices don't have pumping stations for mothers, for new mothers. So our environment, the whole setup is not very breastfeeding friendly, and that's why people move on to bottles, because they think that I can easily feed my child. I have never used bottle for my child, by the way. Now, because I thought that if I do it, I can tell people that I have done it, and that way I also practice what I preach. Now I have fed my daughter when I was sitting in the car in the front seat, in the airport, while traveling, while moving, while walking on the road. I have done all of that, and that was because I used to carry her in a baby carrier, and it just became so easy for me to feed her or attend to her necessity. What we have to believe in is that the breast milk that we are making, the mother is making for the child, it's very tailor-made. It's custom made for the baby, and it changes. The composition of the milk changes as the baby grows, right? So and it's a very demand and supply mechanism, the feedback mechanism as we call it in chemistry. So it's a very interesting thing, and it's not cow's milk which is made for us, right? Cow's milk is made for the baby calf, but mother's milk is made for mother's own baby. So why should we not give the child what it should have? So therefore, I was a very active breastfeeding awareness activist rather. So where I used to tell people actively that how important, and I do tell people even now that how it is important that we feed our child what they deserve. And it is very nice, breast milk has medicinal properties. It has antibiotics, natural ones. So even if you have a cut or a mosquito bite, if you pump your milk out and give, it's just that. What we have to do in terms of activism or going forward to more popularize breastfeeding is that public feeding should be done more often. People should accept it. People should not look down upon, because I have seen people giving me those big eyes. Oh my God, what is happening? When I was feeding her in the airport, so people were looking at me. Okay, what exactly is happening? But I was just feeding my child. I'm not exposing myself. But the child needed it, and I was doing it, and I was doing it under, a proper cover and everything. So we just have to make it more common. We just have to tell people that those powdered milk, I'm not giving names, I shouldn't be doing that. So this powdered milk don't have what your natural milk has. And that's where, I was my stand. We have done big latch-ons where we go in parks or in hospitals, and where we sit outside and feed the babies in front of everybody. So those have been media covered. It was those were very big events in Bangalore when I was doing it, and all over the world I think people are accepting it even more. What we should do is, in smaller places we should make it more common, because I see that even doctors prescribe to move on to milk, the powdered milk. The reason is that people are not that aware, and people think that if doctor doesn't write that, probably it is why is the doctor not writing? He's not a good doctor. Because I see that, I've come from a small town, so I know how things work over there. So a doctor writes a lot of medicines, but you don't need that for that small tiny child. Don't give too many things. Your milk has it, what the baby needs. So just believe in yourself and go ahead and give it. And there are very good lactation experts now, and I think people should consult. I also had issues while latching the baby initially, and it's not a very easy journey, you see. So you just have to consult the right people and carry on with this journey. There are a lot of materials available to help people. Eco warrior, I love that term. Yes, I am trying to become more sustainable every day. Sustainability doesn't come in one go. That's what I want to tell people again, because it comes in practice. It comes when you keep doing something on a regular basis, when you keep thinking about it. So first, sustainability should arise here, and then it should come in your hands, is what I say. Because when you start thinking about it, is then when you start practicing it. So that's how my journey started. I started very, very small, taking care of the water wastage in my house, then slowly moved on to seeing that what are the other elements, what are the other areas where I can think sustainable. I love doing crafts. So whenever I cut paper for the crafts, I keep it. Even the tiniest bit of paper, because I know that that tiniest cut that I've made, that can be used somewhere else. My daughter's birthday, when I celebrate, I don't put balloons. I try, or if even at this time I had used, because it was there from many years. The decorations that I have, I'm reusing it every time. So she turned 6. So for the 5th birthday the 5 right up, I cut the 5 into a 6 and I put it. So how does it matter? You can keep reusing things, the smallest of the things. We had a lot of crayons at home. So we melted those crayons into small glass bottles and gifted people as candles, putting wick. So we just have to think and practice it, and those practices begins right at home. And what we teach our children, if we keep telling them that don't waste paper, don't waste water, don't waste these things, and these are the reasons, I think they will grow up to become more responsible. Now, in today's society, I would say the biggest polluter is not just plastic. It is also fast fashion, because it uses a lot of polyester material and everything, the fast fashion, and those end up in landfills. Because if you see, we buy a lot of things out of impulse, and those things we don't wear very often. So to give back even a cotton cloth, okay, if we think okay, it's not polyester, it's cotton that I'm buying, but even that cotton cloth, if you're not wearing it enough, it will also end up in the landfill. And think about it, how many gallons and gallons of water has been wasted to create that simple t-shirt of yours. Thousands of gallons of water. So think about how the whole supply chain works. And I think fast fashion, that way, the fashion revolution should start right from us. If we show less demand towards these fast fashion, the supply will also reduce. Now the supply is super high. I've seen people shopping even during the lockdown, and mostly if you shop from those fast fashion brands, those are some things that you're not going to wear at least 20 times, right? So I just keep one count to myself. I give something to myself as 25 times. I need to wear something 25 times at least to give the value to that, to give myself the environmental friendly pat. So that doesn't always happen in a lifetime because we don't rewear many things. So I've started rewearing, redoing, wearing t-shirts as blouse and those kind of things, so that I can wear whatever is there in my wardrobe in multiple ways. And for me, like I said, the biggest polluter along with plastic is also clothes, and we just have to think before we do or we take any steps. And in the coming days to come, if we don't control it, like they say that there will be more fish or marine animals in the ocean. There will be less marine animals in the ocean than plastic. Think about it. By 2050, we just have to take charge of our activities right away. Think where you can reduce. You can't do many things at one point in time. Do one thing at a time, but do it well. My vision for India is very simple. I want everybody to thrive staying here. Not just India, but also for the world in general. I do not want wars. I do not want many things to happen. I want everybody to stay peacefully and thrive and enjoy their life and stay happy. But is it going to happen? I doubt. The way we are proceeding, the unrest that we are having, things are pretty dicey. So therefore, I think if we want to build a nation, we have to build ourselves first. We have to build our family first. We have to build our children first. And because going forward, those children are going to build the nation. So like charity begins at home, the growth mindset and positivity also begins at home. Everything begins at home. And now that we are all at home, I think even more things will happen at home. So yes, my vision for India is making better people, making responsible people, making people accountable for the work they are doing, so that they take accountability and they move forward and they do good things. And a sustainable India is all I want. A sustainable world in general is all I want. And I have started taking my step forward. Are you joining me?
You got the swag, you got the style. You got the swag, you got the smile. You got the swag, you got the style. You got the swag, you got the smile.